Gonna get your love. Stream starting soon. Go get your love. Go get your love. It's the nerdy couch. It's the nerdy couch. It's the nerdy couch. It's the nerdy couch. Rocky and Groove. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just waiting, eh? Waiting for the nerdy couch crew to show up. Come and get your love. Come and get your love. It's the nerdy cow. It's the nerdy cow. Throw a little bit of the Bee Gees in there.
What's shaking, everybody? Welcome back.
What's up? Thank you for waiting.
Slightly short wait.
You know, Grim here had to have a quick dart.
I don't think you can say that.
Yeah, playing darts. We're here talking finally about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
The finale.
The finale. Sad face. But Will, well, I mean, I think it did say that Star-Lord will return.
It did. So,
but not under the direction of James Gunn.
That's right. So it's almost
okay.
Going to be almost a whole new thing.
Could you do me a favor and just kind of pick Rocket up there? He's just having a little bit of a hard time. All right. Again, welcome. I'm excited.
Are you excited?
How
excited are you?
I don't know if I can express the excitement without getting real loud.
Yeah. Real loud.
Like, seriously.
For all our excitement, this is probably one of the least prepared for things that we've ever done.
Today's show?
Today's show, yeah.
I don't think that preparedness is going to hurt because this is a movie I could talk about.
Can you?
You know,
it's a banger.
I don't know if I need a lot of guidance to talk about this movie.
I don't think so either.
Okay.
It was spectacular.
Now, we all know that I'm a bit of a Marvel fan.
Yes.
Okay. You're our, local Star Wars specialist.
Yeah.
Hence the shirt.
Well, I thought this was a Star Wars kind of show.
It's a very it's set in a very Star Warsy setting. You know,
it's in the stars.
It's in the stars.
There was some wars.
There was some wars.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Now you know.
And Disney owns them all. So
yeah, Disney owns the world.
That's right.
He owns us.
Yeah.
Disney. I spoke of Disney as a person.
Well, he was.
Okay, so let's get right into this.
Okay.
What I consider an awesome movie.
Is it an Oscar award-winning movie?
I don't know if the Oscars are going to recognize it. I can't tell you that. I do hope so. You know, some pretty amazing performances.
There was some great
All right. I
performances
wouldn't
all
be
around.
surprised if Bradley Cooper got some sort of a voice acting or something like for that.
Nomination at the least.
Yeah. Because we got to say, are you suggesting that we throw a pitch out to where we're on?
We should
what we're
always
on?
pitch.
Okay. If you're not watching us on YouTube, where else can you catch us?
You can catch us on Twitch live as well.
Yeah.
You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram.
In the Instagrams
On the gram.
and the Facebooks are more of a like we'll give you some chats up and stuff like that, maybe make some posts and stuff, but we don't really do a lot of shows there.
No. We do the pregame dump there.
Yeah, pregame dump is something we do right before we go on live here, and we enjoy doing that. And we hope you enjoy it too. This movie essentially is about Rocket Raccoon.
It really is, yeah. It's about the Guardians, but it fills in all of the Rocket gaps.
It's about this guy right here. Okay. And James Gunn has come out to say that Rocket is a bit of a secret protagonist. Yes. I was going to call him a procrastinator, but he's far from that.
No, he's overly busy, if anything.
Yeah. He's been a protagonist. He's been the main protagonist through this entire series. And if you go back and watch it, you can see what he's talking about. If you watch the first two, you can really see what he's talking about. Like,
one of the main jams.
It has to be one of the more interesting storylines. Although I will say Nebula's storyline has also really come to a nice closure too. Or not closure, but it has arced nicely.
She had a great arc. Totally different person. And we get to see a lot of that during this particular film as well. So I was excited about it.
So let's start at the beginning. Or somewhere near there.
Way before the beginning even.
Okay.
Because, it's like before Rocket is even Rocket.
I suppose so.
Yeah. He's just a wee baby raccoon.
I gotta say, baby raccoon, baby Rocket.
Yeah.
Friggin' flippin' adorable.
Raccoons are adorable creatures.
If I could have one, I would.
Yeah.
This is the story of the torment that Rocket goes through, pretty much, right? And it's one of the more powerful storylines, I think, maybe even in the MCU.
Yeah. I would agree. Really, this movie gets you in your feels more than once. Even there's several moments that just really hammer your feels.
Yeah, they get you a little teary-eyed. Obviously, we saw it in theaters.
Yeah,
and there were a few times where I was holding back a couple of tears. I think.
Were you? Were you blurry?
Oh, I was getting a little blurry-eyed.
Thanks for joining us, Cerise.
Thank you very much.
On Twitch, even. That's cool.
On Twitch. We don't have very many Twitch viewers yet, so we really appreciate that. Let us know, have you seen the movie? Because we should go ahead and say that we're going to spoil some things.
Oh, so much.
We're going to spoil so much because we do not know how to not spoil things.
That's right. Especially when we're talking about this movie. I mean, really, it's bomb.
This is going to be one of those movies where we're going to talk about just about everything. So let us know if you've seen it. If you have, if you haven't, we're sorry.
But go and watch it.
Yeah, it's definitely worth watching. Sorry, but that's still in theaters.
Yes.
It has
only been out a week, even,
and it's like broken box office records type deal. I think it definitely did some major money in the box office.
Oh, for sure. It's a real push back for Marvel right now, I think, because they needed something big.
There have been some minor, no, I wouldn't say failures in the Marvel, unless we're talking about
She-Hulk?
She-Hulk.
Yeah.
But like, as far as, let's say, the Miss Marvel
Mm-hmm.
and stuff, we all know I wasn't a huge fan, but I wouldn't consider it a failure by any means. I think it was one of the lesser
The Eternals.
of the Marvels. The Eternals, again,
It was okay, but it wasn't like
I can't.
I know it didn't
I
smash.
can't call it a failure by any means. Up till Miss Marvel, or up till She-Hulk, I really didn't dislike anything.
Yeah, but you're a fan.
But I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Right.
That's like trying to get me to not like something Star Wars.
Yeah, it's hard for me
Yeah.
to break out and say, hey, this was a bad thing.
Yeah.
Right. But I don't think there's anybody saying that this is a bad thing.
No.
All right.
Nobody's gonna say that ever.
This movie feels so good
Oh, it's so good.
through the whole thing, and there is literally a minor situation near the end that I think we can both agree on.
Yeah.
That we'll talk about briefly.
It definitely
but I don't.
it dipped my score for sure.
It ruined nearly a perfect score for me.
Yeah. I was probably gonna roll a 10 for sure, and then I was like,
but we'll get into that a little bit later.
We kind of start off in nowhere. We get more tasty jams because this movie is full, like probably one of the best soundtracks in a long while. Like just great music all the way through.
Yeah.
And a lot of that's thanks to Star-Lord and his Zoom or his Walkman or whatever, depending on the movie you're watching.
So yeah, and like I was saying earlier, James Gunn said this was one of the more difficult ones to choose music from because he has more of a wide range, leading right up to the 2000s. In the first movie and the second movie, he was dealing with one genre.
Yeah.
Right. So there wasn't a ton to pick from.
Just kicking in the
right?
80s.
But just kicking some good tunes.
Oh.
Throughout these three films, some of the best tunes. This one coming back with the whole doom 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 doom
because it's got some nostalgia.
Yeah, and it just brings you right back to that first movie. Now you said that we started on Nowhere.
Yeah, we kicked over to Nowhere.
The Celestial Head, and I just want to point out that I love the fact that there's so many things from the Christmas special that are actually relevant in this movie.
Yeah.
Because I hate when they do a Christmas special and none of it's relevant.
Right.
Right. Because... And there's a ton of stuff that you would not know if you hadn't seen the Christmas special.
So if you haven't seen the Christmas special before watching this, go watch it.
Yeah, it is important.
Yeah. Pulls in tons and tons of stuff. You'd be so confused between the second and the third movie without watching the Christmas
special.
If
you haven't seen the Christmas special, we're going to talk about a few things from that right now. Mainly that they've taken Nowhere as a home base.
That's right.
And that happened in the Christmas special.
Yes, it did. Well, you found out about it. They purchased it from the collector. So.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
You also find out at that point that Quill's sister.
Yes. Is Mantis.
Yeah. Which you'd be pretty surprised if you started this movie without knowing that.
Yeah.
Right. Not a whole lot more other than the fact
you wouldn't know who Cosmo is.
Yeah.
Other than something in a cage. And
Cosmo, you wouldn't be real familiar with. But, I think that seeing that Christmas special really kind of made things feel nicer because even to the point where you can hear the band in the background, and I think that it's the same band.
You think it is?
I think.
You don't know.
And I would like to feel that.
Okay.
I
didn't actually look to see if it was.
But
I had planned on it.
But it feels like that. It feels like that. Right? And you wouldn't get that same feeling even if you hadn't seen this Christmas special.
Which is on my Christmas playlist now.
Yeah.
The two songs. So gotta have them. They're great tunes. But yeah, it's kind of like an opening wander through with the music going, and it's kind of showing all of the Guardians doing just like workaday kind of tasks.
Putting up signs that get knocked down eventually.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was a cool scene anyway, because you kind of get to see like the different things, like Nebula's new arm that I'm gonna presume is a a better version of Bucky's arm since Rocket got it for Christmas?
See, I don't know if Rocket. Excuse me, I got the coughs. I'm not dying or I'm not sick, but I think it was a Rocket gift to say thank you for the arm.
Oh, maybe.
Because
You don't
if you
think he
notice,
just tuned it up and then
she doesn't have the eyepiece anymore.
okay.
So I think Rocket's done a lot of work on her over the last 5 years.
Well, because they were besties. They were the only two Guardians to survive the blip.
Yeah. So and that comes back later when we see Nebula so happy and relieved and crying about Rocket returning.
That's right. Nebula cries.
And you don't like it makes you think back to all the time they had and why they're so close. They were so close and something maybe even closer than some of the other characters.
Is that was the point that you kind of got a little emotional? Was when Nebula was
I actually
getting emotional, right?
that was when I almost got a little teary
Yeah.
because it's something about somebody who's so tough,
Yeah,
inside, and so like hard inside to become emotional and tear up. Like it makes you think like if that person can care, maybe I can care.
sure.
Yeah. Maybe I'm not so hard inside.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not really sure about that, but so yeah, the walkthrough's going on. Peter's a drunk at this point because he's just so heartbroken.
Mm-hmm. So I don't mean to cut you off.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
And I do. But
thanks
thank
for
you very
following
much
us
for following us
on
on
Twitch, by the way, Zeris.
We'll work on getting a better thing. That was real ghetto.
Uh-huh.
But thank you. We'll work on it, buddy. I love that it starts off with Rocket sitting there.
Yeah.
And then Creep starts playing.
Yes.
And he starts walking through singing Creep. And like
it's a very fitting song for him.
Yeah. And first off, that adds to the great soundtrack, but then having him sing along with it. And I think there might have been a couple other characters singing along with it too.
I think so, yeah.
But that's just like
they do an amazing job with music in all of these movies, like
and them interacting with the music.
Yeah.
The first movie starts off with a big music scene pretty much.
And I mean, I guess a lot of that probably comes back to it's not just a soundtrack, right? Like it's actually playing when they're listening to it.
Yeah.
We're listening to the same music as the Guardians are because it's all on those the Zoom or whatever.
And with such a great song and them and him singing along and then eventually walks into
Drunken Quill.
And grabs his little juice thing from the freezer.
Yeah. Crushing juice.
And Quill is heartbroken.
And just wrecked.
But he's been that way since the special.
Yeah.
Like he's been on a downward spiral. Spiral?
Yeah.
Like the dragon?
Yeah. No. That's Spyro. But I digress.
You should.
Yeah. He's a sad sack. And it's, and you get the feeling when you see him kind of like trashed and they're picking him up and carrying him out that it's not the first time that they've kind of had to do these things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's talk about them carrying him out for a moment, first off. And talk about...
Have you seen the
dummy?
The TikToks about the dummy and stuff like that? If you haven't seen the dummy, I was watching TikTok and I saw the dummy that they made for it. It is creepy.
It is so realistic.
Yeah.
And they said it weighed about 30 pounds.
Yeah.
Right. And even the actress that played, was it Nebula that was carrying?
Yeah.
Said like, I can't carry this thing.
Yeah.
And
then I saw some of the TikToks with Chris Pratt carrying it around and stuff, and he was looking at it,
It's
and he's like,
just
"I feel so sorry for my wife. Is this what I look like when I'm asleep? Oh God."
it is eerie.
Yeah.
It is eerie, but you would never know.
No.
It looked so
And
real.
that was even on TikTok without like, extra visual
And it
effects and
still
stuff
looked
layered
real.
over, and it still
It
it
still
looked
looked real.
so good. It was an amazing dummy. I loved it. It
Yeah.
was so good.
Yeah, it was great. But then like these movies make that they do the slow walk,
Yeah.
the slow group walk.
Yeah.
They do it so well in these movies.
Team walks are what they're all about.
Yeah,
Even when you play like the video game and stuff like that, and if you haven't had a chance to play the video game,
it's something I want to do.
it is a
very soon.
decent game. It's not amazing by any means. I would never like put it on my list of top anything, but it's a fun game to play, and it has a lot of those little pieces and nuances that you can recognize from pieces from the movie where they've taken costuming and stuff like that and whatever.
It is so expensive, that game still.
Is it really?
It's still $80 on Steam at the very least.
I don't think I paid for it.
Yeah,
It was on my PS5 Plus thing.
Yeah,
so I could just play
I just couldn't.
No, I couldn't. I don't. It's not $80 worth.
No, but I think I would enjoy it for the pure fact that I'm a Marvel fan,
Yeah.
and I'm a fan of, like, I've liked Rocket and Groot for quite a long time, and like since before the Guardians of the Galaxy had played out.
Would you say they're your favorite Guardians?
Would you say that these are your favorite Guardians? Like, do you know
No, I don't
anyone
know
else
the
who's been in
old
the Guardians?
old Guardians.
Right?
I know that the Ravager guys were actually some of the first Guardians, but
So you're saying out of the MCU Guardians,
yeah,
would I say they're my favorite?
yeah,
I would have to. And I don't have any other characters kicking around the house.
well, you should get some.
All right. Let us know
Who your favorite
who
Guardian
your favorite Guardian
Pick
is.
one.
See, I have to leave.
Pick one.
I have to go.
One Guardian that's your favorite.
I can't.
Yeah.
Don't make me do it. I can't right now. I'll do it off camera.
So you're gonna pick two. That's what you're telling
I'm
me.
gonna pick two. If I have to, no, because if I say Rocket right now, it's everyone's like, of course you'd pick Rocket right now. He was the main character of the movie. I've probably known of Groot longer
Okay.
and been a fan of Groot longer,
Yeah.
but then pretty quickly they go hand in hand a lot.
See, I don't know. I didn't know who any of them were until the movie.
So
no idea.
It's not like they didn't really do a lot together in the comics, I don't think.
Oh no.
So we're not gonna get into that though.
My favorite's probably Nebula.
Nebula, I think, has become she's gained a lot of favoritism.
Yeah.
Especially in this last movie.
Mm-hmm.
Her arc has been crazy good.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
mine's either Nebula or Rocket, I guess, but I'm gonna go with Nebula.
The whole bad to good arc always goes over well. It's always a favorite. Okay. Now, Rocket being like, look at my history. Okay.
Your history?
With character. No, I'm not
like
saying
you were
I'm not saying
cybernetically altered, so you relate to Rocket.
I'm not saying like back in the day there was a boy who was born in 1980.
Mm-hmm.
He was born to no. I'm saying look at my history with characters.
Not your search history.
Not my search history. God. Actually, if you watch my search history, it's probably like Marvel, how to fix a Nintendo. Marvel.
Nice.
Yeah. Like Spider-Man. Okay.
Spider-Man.
Deadpool.
I don't think Deadpool has a theme song.
Rocket. They're all the smart asses.
Okay.
Yeah.
They've
all got that quippy, I'm going to make the smart ass remarks. Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They all have that kind of theme, and I'm kind of into those idiots.
Yeah.
Not that Rocket's an idiot. He's probably the smartest one on the Guardians.
He might be the smartest person in the galaxy.
Mm, I don't know. That's
Smarter
debatable.
than the High Evolutionary, and he's creating entire.
We can have that discussion some other time, I think. You know, if you want to go down the list of who we think are the smartest people, you think he's smarter than Reed?
No, that's fair. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You think he's smarter than Tony?
Yes,
I don't know.
I
Did
think
he?
I think he could take Rocket could take Stark Tech and make it
Did he
so
invent
much more.
time travel?
I think he could.
I think he
if he
could
really
too.
put his
I
mind
think he
to
could
it.
too. You let us
Reed's
know.
a tough one, but
Reed's a tough one.
I think he's smarter than
Is
Tony.
he smarter than Banner?
Oh yeah, I think so.
I think in
Reed's
different
smarter
aspects.
than yeah. I mean, if
think
he
in-
was into biochemicals, then, but he's not. He's
He should
into
be.
building stuff.
He freaking should be.
I digress.
He should, because we're getting way off topic.
Oh, we did get a look at Nebula's new arm, which is pretty badass on the walkthrough. After they put Peter down, I loved that we get back to like Kraglin trying to use that damn arrow again.
Oh yeah, and sticks it
and
right in her
just stabs
chest,
her right in the chest.
which is fun because obviously I've gone back and I've watched the first two movies again.
Okay.
And at the end of the second one, I believe, he sticks one in Drax.
Yes, he does. Yeah.
And just kind of runs away a little bit.
Yeah.
So it kind of reminiscent of that and stuff. And I think Kraglin's another one that has evolved over the course of these movies. In the first one, he didn't even have a name.
No, he was like nameless Ravager guy.
Yeah.
Basically.
He was like right-hand man guy. And now he's a Guardian.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Also, a little bit of tidbit of information. He's also Gunn's brother.
Oh yeah,
Sean Gunn.
What is it?
All right. And he also does the movements for Rocket.
Oh yeah, he's the body actor for
He's
him?
the body actor. I know.
Wow.
He's just down on his
That's
knees
I'm
in a green
picturing
suit.
that right now, and I'm like,
so he developed from being a extra who was doing movements for Rocket. Now he's a Guardian.
That's a big arc by itself.
You know, and there are, you know, he has a fan base.
Oh, for sure. A lot of people love Kraglin.
Yeah.
He's a lovable idiot.
Yeah.
Basically, like.
But he's become badass now.
Yeah.
You know, he's got the arrow, which
that he can finally utilize.
Debatably is one of the most kick-ass weapons around.
Because it uses heart.
Like when you watch those scenes with Yondu taking out the whole base.
Yeah.
You get the feeling that he doesn't need a whole lot of help.
No.
It's just the second his lips start to get a little parched, he's like, oh shit.
That's a 10.
Yeah.
I think that's about it.
Whistle? What if you can't whistle?
I could crush that. I would be a great whistler because I have a lot of heart.
You do.
And I can whistle beautifully. This whole thing is just shattered pretty quickly, like rather rapidly by Adam.
By him?
Adam,
whom I know that he's a underdeveloped
sovereign.
Yeah. And I think he needed to be, because like Adam at full power, Adam Warlock, whom we're not sure what's in his forehead.
Yeah, it's just like
because in the comic book he has the stone.
Right. Yeah. But
right.
Not in this.
So I don't. It's some sort of a
gem,
aesthetic thing.
It's a stud.
Right. If they had him at full power, he would have just rocked everything.
Would Captain Marvel be able to handle him?
Whew. That's a different story. Let's skip that for now.
Okay.
That's tough.
Would
Let us know
Scarlet
what you
Witch
think.
be able to handle him?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, with Thanos.
No, he kind of. I don't. I want to get into it. I don't want to
Okay.
get into it.
Didn't want to get into it.
All right.
I'm trying to learn on the job, but obviously
I'm
I'm not
pretty sure
allowed.
he's one of the people who helped take him down
Nice.
in the comics.
In the comics.
Where are we?
I thought you didn't want me to look at. You said you could talk. Warlock
No, we
attack.
can talk.
Atom attack. I said.
Atom attack.
Chicken attack.
All right, dude. You can't do that to me.
Sorry.
So Atom attack, and it's Nebula who really kind of shines.
Yes, after Rocket gets like punched out hard.
Yeah,
rather rapidly.
She comes up there with like Stark tech, pretty much.
Yeah, some sort of crazy like multi-winged thing she's got going on. I don't know what that was, but it's gone after this fight, and I was really disappointed with the fact that
it was just gone.
That was it, because I saw it and I was like, that is so
well, that
cool.
is a new Nebula trait that I like. And then she opens up her arm and
arm cannons.
Her like Astro Boy cannons.
That was dope. Dope. So cool.
But so Adam's pretty much kicking some hard ass here.
Yes. He's single-handedly just beating down the Guardians, but he's a meathead.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is if he wasn't like a child, right? Like Drax is holding his own for a bit.
Yeah.
And then like they're kind of holding their own until Rocket, and which becomes the main storyline of this.
Point of this.
The main plot is that Rocket takes one in the chest. That sounded way more dirty than it could have. All right. Rocket takes one, puts him out. All right. Stop that face. All right. Stop it. And they try to use one of those healing packs on him.
Yeah. Which are really interesting tech by themselves.
Which I don't think I've seen up till this point.
Because Mantis pops one on her broken arm and it just sets it and they carry on.
Yeah.
Like just
that's like
fix it back into place.
Why don't they have like they need to replace the Bacta tanks,
right?
With those.
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
Bantha, but
Bantha?
Well, because the Bantha is like the
Okay. Yeah, they need to seriously consider them in Star Wars.
Yeah, they should.
Right?
It's great tech.
Yeah. But they can't, because the High Evolutionary has put a device in Rocket.
It's gonna kill him.
And it will detonate his heart.
Yeah.
That
it starts the process, basically, him getting shot.
Well, now he's on a clock now. He's on a time limit now. And now Rocket is they're gonna fix Rocket.
Yeah.
But it hurts.
But are they gonna fix Rocket? Because I mean, all of the build up to this movie is essentially was talking about characters dying.
Who is gonna die is pretty much was the
like the whole movie you were waiting for someone to die, and now Rocket's been shot and he might die. I thought maybe he wasn't gonna make it. So through the whole movie, and even up to the point where,
I knew he had to come back.
How did you know he had to come back?
Because it's his story.
Yeah, but he could have died at the end of it.
But was he that death that pushes everyone over the edge?
Yeah, right?
Right?
You didn't know.
I had a lot of hope. Okay? But it hurt seeing him on that table.
Yeah. And everybody's like Mantis's reaction and everybody freaking out and stuff. Like it set the scene for the whole
that emotion,
the whole thing,
and even Groot's like facial expressions, and stuff when they're, especially when he pretty much near the end, when he pretty much does die.
Mm-hmm.
Spoilers. When he pretty much does die, and Quill is taking the tubes off him and stuff and beating him in the chest and I can't let him die.
Yeah.
I mean, I do it much better, but than Mr. Pratt, obviously. But we can't let him die.
Yeah.
It's very emotional.
It was the whole show was emotional, man.
That's why it's so good.
We get our first flashback in there too. We're in this little kind of scene, this portion of like the original experiments and stuff, like the starting of the experiments that they did on Rocket, and he really pulls you into his character more because he doesn't talk about it and hasn't talked about it and all of these other things.
Sean Gunn voiced young Rocket.
Who's Sean Gunn? Craiglin? That can't be right.
I'm sure of it.
That's not right. I don't.
We'll look into that, but I think I saw that.
I think you're wrong.
I think I saw James Gunn say it. No. Not personally.
James, you were there, and he was like, "Yo, did you know my brother voiced young Rocket?"
James Gunn has like this thing where he likes to.
Well, his wife's in this.
Put everybody in his life in it and then kill them off sometimes.
Well, his wife's in this.
Yes.
As random lady that gets shot in the leg by crazy Gamora.
Yeah. Actually, I'm pretty sure that the girl who Nebula might have some relation in some way.
Oh, yeah?
I might be just talking out my ass now, but I don't know.
What's going on over there, producer?
But yeah, we have...
You're, of course, looking up who voiced young Rocket, right?
No.
You are...
When we ask questions on here, do you mind if we don't know something? Could you help us out?
She does mind.
I know she minds. She's probably shopping or something.
Who voiced young Rocket? Okay.
Anyway,
she's shopping for new hosts.
Yeah, she's like, I'm done with this shit.
Yeah, the whole scene from the flashbacks that periodically we come back to.
Yeah.
Of young Rocket. We start out by the high evolutionary reaching into the cage to the young raccoons.
The babies.
Right?
Yeah.
And Rocket being the only one who doesn't retreat back. Right? And like there's a lot of talk about whether there was something in Rocket previous to the experiments.
Well, there had to have been.
That really made him special in his head, in his mind.
There had to have been.
Right?
Bradley Cooper, he voiced young Rocket.
No,
that's not
didn't.
right. That's who voices Rocket.
Yeah, that's just who voices Rocket.
Young Rocket?
Yeah,
young Rocket. Yeah, like he's there's something special about this raccoon.
Yeah. Raccoon.
All right. And he is picked.
Yes.
Obviously, like horrifying mutations and or mechanical experiments done to him and stuff like that, to the point where Nebula, when they're watching his file, says, "This is worse than what I've been through."
Yeah.
That
it was Sean Gunn.
Oh, thank you. Was Dan right? Oh dear. Is that too hard to believe? I don't think so. All right. You guys owe me a big apology.
Are you talking young Rocket or baby Rocket?
Baby Rocket hurts.
Baby Rocket is Noah Raskin.
Did Sean Gunn voice Rocket at any time?
That's not what he...
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Thank you.
But Noah Raskin is who voiced Little Rocket.
All right. Well, good job all through.
With the hurts part.
With the hurts. His first voice, his first ones.
Yeah.
Hurts.
That's his first word.
Yeah. What a terrible life.
That's how your life started. Your first word is hurts.
So you get the little guy experiments done to him that are worse than Nebula's.
Yeah. And
Worse
she was
than
basically just
she was
torn apart.
torn
consistently.
apart and put back together multiple occasions.
Yeah.
Every time
Every time she failed.
she failed,
Yeah.
which at that point stopped being a failure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or just don't go back.
Yeah.
Why'd she keep going back?
Oh, it's Thanos.
I guess.
Thanos finds you. All right.
Nebula got away for a while.
Nebula or Gamora?
Gamora got away for a while.
All right.
Ooh.
So I think Rocket got lucky compared to his friends.
Yeah. Except, I mean, I guess Lila had robot arms, but
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying that like her robot arms were janky.
yeah, but I mean, she could have done some upgrading to them.
Right. I think that maybe like he was at the last part of the batch
the 89s.
of the 89.
Yeah.
Batch 89. And I think that maybe he got the better, like maybe it hurt more. But I think he got a better deal
Yeah. Probably.
than all of them.
Yeah.
Like you have to live your life as a creepy rabbit with spider legs.
That was kind of adorable.
Floor
In
and
a creepy
teeth.
way. And teeth.
The walrus that can't open its own eyes.
Yeah, he's got robot eyes.
He's
And
got
wheels.
and wheels. Okay. And then there's Lila.
And Lila. She's just got little clampy hands.
You know, and they're all friends, and it's good to have friends.
That's right.
All right. It's just a touching scene.
It really is.
You know, it's a touching and hurtful scene.
Yeah.
Right. And it puts perspective on a lot of things from the previous movies. Right. If you go back and watch them, you watch them in a different light almost.
Yeah.
You know, the portions where he's like, I didn't ask to be made. I didn't ask to be taken apart and put back together over and over again. You know,
Are you emotional right now?
I'm a little emotional about it.
Orgo
Corp, the big butthole in the sky.
Yeah. Some sort of, what do they call it? Bio something?
So there's a meme.
Yeah.
You know that meme where there's just the guy peeking out from the tree type deal?
Yeah.
You know? Well, there's a meme of them leading into the Orgo Corp, and it's saying, "Oh, it's all biomass and stuff like that." And then there's like a celestial peeking out from a planet, going,
"Hey, it's a gross pink fleshy thing."
So they've got to go there to
That
save
was
Rocket.
grown, by the way. They said it was grown.
Yeah, they've got to go there to save Rocket because
Yeah.
that's where his file is kept.
Yes.
And in order to know how to deactivate the explosion device and
they
stuff,
need the
they need
P13
file, which they have to go through the bio butthole.
Yeah. On the Bowie
Yes.
new ship.
First one, the Milano.
Yes.
Second one, what was the second one again?
Can't remember what the second one was.
It was another female, and then move on to the Bowie.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
You know, cool ship.
Cool ship.
All right. The bio butthole.
Yeah. You're stuck on the bio butthole.
Right.
By the way.
The suits that the guards and stuff are wearing are comical and kind of gross.
Yeah. They're like weird exoskeleton bug looking fleshy. I don't know.
It's just the whole thing is weird.
It's a weird.
Not weird.
stuff
It's
going
not
on.
bad.
No, it's just weird.
It's just weird. And the one sergeant guy, I can't remember the actor that plays him.
Nathan Fillion.
Yeah. He did a good job.
Yeah.
He was comical
Yes.
and stuff.
Master Karja.
Right? So when they get to the bio butthole, they they have to jettison down in the Power Ranger suits.
I really think that you should probably comment on the fact that this is where Gamora is reintroduced into the whole thing prior to their jumping onto the giant biomass thing.
The bio butthole.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, Gamora has joined. She is the leader of the Ravengers of Yondu's faction. Is it?
Yeah, I think she'd be like the queen bee of that group.
Yeah.
But Stallone's there.
Mm-hmm. And still being all Stallone.
Mm-hmm. I love the fact that he's the King Ravager.
I'm fine with it. Like it works. It's not like having Jack Black step in now.
Oh God. No, it's not like that.
And we love Jack Black by all means.
I really do.
But yeah, he fits the part.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like it made sense. It feels like he's the right person.
He
for that
feels
job.
like a Ravenger. Like
Yeah.
if he should be one in real life.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but she comes. She's still the different person that doesn't
Remember
doesn't remember the relationship that her and Peter had.
You know what would be great, just as an aside? If they did that with a bunch of like the old, if they were all Ravagers, like Stallone, Van Damme, Seagal, Schwarzenegger, were all just random Ravagers.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would be great. Stupid 80s, 90s action stars.
Action heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Like you've got heaven forbid with his health, but Willis
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Statham.
Yeah. You could do Statham.
Statham just on the borderline of like the old action heroes now. Right?
Yeah, it'd be great.
But yeah,
That's just a dream of mine.
She's back. Maybe it'll be a special.
Yeah. Ravager special.
But she's back, but like the new Gamora.
Yeah.
You know, doesn't really want to play ball.
And Peter even mentions it in his long drawn out story about
On the way,
he's just a guy
on the
who
elevator.
fell in love with a girl who ended up being sacrificed and died and came back a dick.
Yeah.
Like,
so
it's a great line.
The neat thing about that is that scene is that Gunn didn't really like the direction that they took with Peter Quill during Endgame.
Okay.
And the whole scene where he nearly caused, where he was part of the reason
Where he tripped out and punched
Thanos
yeah.
and yada yada. He didn't like that direction they went.
Well, I don't think he cared for the fact that they rando sacrificed Gamora either.
Yeah.
Like,
so there was some direction that he didn't like, and he kind of got to take a shot at them here.
Yeah.
Right. And kind of, you know, it kind of played fun with it.
Yeah.
Which I like that. And then even he didn't like them throwing Gamora off a cliff.
No.
Right. So again, had a little bit of fun with that.
Yeah.
And then Nebula even goes, yeah, he left out a few things, but that's pretty much it, right?
That's pretty much the story.
It's a fun scene. Ultimately, though, they go there, they get into a bunch of trouble.
I think we had another bit of flashback in between before they actually make the jump down.
Yeah, we can talk about flashbacks, but I do get sad.
I know it hurts, but we get to see Rocket. We get to see Rocket learning and figuring out like massive equations rather rapidly.
So the High Evolutionary kind of is playing with Rocket's emotions.
Yeah.
Kind of treating him like a friend.
Yeah, ish. Although he does grab him by the throat face at the end of that whole thing, and I was like
it's like he's talking to him like he's learning him, and then awkwardly grabs his face.
Yeah. Like he's almost just thinking to himself, I could just choke the life out of you.
Like he has
right
to
now.
be the High Evolutionary. He has to be the smartest person in the room, and he has to be the controller.
Yeah.
Right.
That's also the scene too when he's learning that he sees a rocket.
For the
which
first
is
time, he
where
sees a rocket,
gets to pull his name.
and
from.
they're telling us about a little bit about the plans for the what is it called? Counter Earth,
Counter Earth, yeah.
right? And the plans to populate it and stuff like
Mhm.
that, right? All in the meantime, Rocket and his friends believing that they were destined to one day be a part of that plan,
Yeah.
right? Which is just heartbreaking.
Which is why he helps him out with his chamber that can rapidly
Where
evolve.
where he's creating Ninja Turtles.
I know. That's what I was gonna say too. Except for he creates Slash because it's a violent ass, angry Ninja Turtle.
Hey, Slash turns around.
He really does. He makes a
All
turnaround.
right.
But High Evolutionary can't stand the fact that he figures that out either. Like you can see that he's like not happy that he didn't figure out what the problem was.
That little Rocket who is having trouble speaking properly. Like he's needs help with words.
Yeah, like can't.
Yes. I know exactly what you mean.
Mhm.
It
The
comes
High
out
Evolutionary doesn't say it
quite
the
right, and it
same.
comes out a very dirty word.
Very English.
But yeah, and then he figures out the filtration system is creating some sort of chemical or is not filtering out some sort of chemical.
Yeah.
And it's making these creatures violent.
Yeah.
Right. Sends him back to his cage pretty much. And then I don't know whether we're jumping into the next scene or not, but at one point, almost violently comes back in asking for Rocket.
Yeah, all hammered up. He must be like he was drunk or something.
Like he was so drunk on the anger of his creation almost besting him.
Yeah.
You know? And I think we'll talk more about the next scene
after.
a little later.
Yeah.
Right? Because it gets into some really important stuff.
Yeah.
Right? But like we can cut back over to the multicolored weird suits that they jump down in.
Yeah, the M&Ms.
And yeah.
Yeah.
And the comical scene between Gamora and Quill where he's kind of professing his love.
Yeah, and thinks he's on the private channel.
And just they've always done a good job with these movies adding that little bits of comedy in there where they literally spent 5 minutes talking about which channels were which.
Yeah.
And how they made no sense.
None.
The blue is for the green and the green is for the whatever and this and that, right? No sense at all. You know, what's the logic in all
Just
of this?
makes total space sense. Can we also talk about why is Mantis not able to just control herself while she's floating through space there?
We've learned that Mantis can hold her own when it comes to like combat.
Yeah.
But she cannot hold her own when in space.
She's all sideways and floating upside down, falling over. It's ridiculous.
You would almost consider like that would be how I would think Drax would float around.
Yeah.
Right. They have to cut through a portion of the butthole.
Yeah.
And they go down. Drax gets stuck.
Yes.
See, that's the sort of thing you would think Drax would get into.
Well, he's
right?
too thick.
Thick. He's a thick boy. Yeah, they get in there. They're posing as workers type deal.
Yeah.
They jettison their suits out.
Accidentally.
Because they think it's some sort of storage.
It's not.
And then you get the whole comedical conversation where they're talking about...
I don't think that's a word.
Comedical?
Yeah.
It is. I just invented it.
It was a good one. I'm gonna use it in my everyday language now.
Comical,
Comical.
comedical.
Nope. Comedical now.
I'm a creator of words.
Yeah.
All right. I just invented it.
That's also where we. It's also where we run into Master Karja
Yeah.
for the first time.
And the little conversation about like,
I have an idiot too.
Yeah.
It was a great back and forth between Quill and Master Karja there. It was great. I loved it. Also, is there a little budding romance between Quill
Nebula?
and Nebula?
I think that could be a fan theory at the very least.
It felt like
there
that.
was some
There was
eyes
some-
going.
Yeah.
Oh, his suggestion that she has beautiful eyes.
Yeah. And then she just they were removed.
She's like, they were removed and replaced by Thanos. Well, I just think he picked a very beautiful color.
Beautiful shade of black.
Beautiful shade of black.
Yeah.
Like at first they're thrown off by the idea. Oh no. And then they kind of look at each other. There might be some romance.
There's a little something.
You know, if Quill can just kind of get over
Gamora.
Gamora.
Yeah.
There could be something there.
He could move on to Gamora's sister.
Yeah. Almost forgot she was over there. She's just giggling up a storm now. For no real apparent reason.
A little drunk.
She's a little okay.
That's never good. Did you just
Um,
order drinks?
can I get 2 of whatever she's having? We do get so yeah, there's the Gamora potential Gamora Peter love story going on,
She ain't
which
gonna
I
stop
I
anytime
wouldn't
soon.
even be unhappy with that
I wouldn't.
because Nebula deserves it. Damn it.
You know what? If there's anybody who deserves love,
Mhm.
it's Nebula.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Peter's had his share of love or lust.
Lost both. Yeah.
You know,
I mean, he's had
but he's also
The
dealing with a
love,
little heartbreak right now.
heartbreak.
So, I don't want to spend too much time on the butthole, but like you do get a couple solid fight scenes. You get a couple of
Yeah.
you know comical scenes.
yes.
All right, I'm growing as a person. But all in all, their job is to get the file, which I love that he is wooing
Yeah.
the attendant, right? And Gamora's like all gung ho shooting people and stuff, and
Shoots
she's like,
people in the leg.
you gotta do it this way. It's not gonna work. And then he woos her into letting him go on the comms.
and then he's like, haha, just kidding.
Just kidding. Speak your truth. And then just kidding. I just wanted to change this stuff, right? And then he does the exact same thing pretty much that Rocket does in the prison.
Yeah. Folsom Prison.
Yeah, in Folsom Prison. Right? And he reverses the gravity.
Yep. Floating
Which-
bad guys. Oh,
which is-
no.
Proven to be, don't you dare. Don't try to hide it like you normally do. Glug, 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 glug. Yeah, great plan. It seems to be a great plan. Why not keep doing it?
Yeah, recycle that.
So he's like, yeah. Plus, I just wanted to prove that I still had it. You know, she was into me, right?
And I think he proved his point.
I think he did.
We do get another piece of flashback where they name themselves. That was prior to the drunken rant piece where they find out that they're going to be incinerated.
Yeah, and it's a cool one because he refers to himself as Rocket for the first time,
Yeah.
and
When we get Lila. Why was Lila?
because she was smart enough to name herself something that wasn't stupid.
Hey, Teefs is a great name because
Because
he's got
he has the biggest
biggest
teeth.
teefs. And floor, because that's what she was laying on, is just logical. When you're naming yourself,
and then
just
he's gonna
rocket
build machines
and fly away.
and fly
all
away
his
into the
friends.
beautiful and vast sky with all of his friends,
That's right.
Lila, Teefs, Floor, and me. Rocket Man.
That scene too. I could have got a little
Yeah, it was
bleary on it.
all the scenes.
So good.
All the scenes.
It was so sad.
But
and happy and
there's
sad.
no other scene.
What an emotional roller coaster I was
I
taken
know.
on during this film.
There's no scene that was more emotional probably than when his friends die when they're unalived. Why do we always blatantly say die and then go, I mean unalived?
That's you, not me.
Well, because you're not
actually.
supposed to say the stuff.
I don't think you're not supposed to say the stuff. I think you read into something way too hard.
I'm just trying to be the best me I can be.
Jesus.
And not say deaths. Deaths.
Oh, don't say that.
Yeah, so Rocket has been stealing
bits and pieces.
little bits and pieces. This is like the genius of Rocket.
We're not even to that flashback. You're a flashback jumper.
I am, but don't judge me for it. I have to adjust.
That's right. Where'd it go?
Groot! What have I done?
No.
I am Groot. I'm sorry.
We are Groot.
We are. Don't go there. Don't even go there.
They get the file, make their grand escape. Gamora stays with.
Can't even.
I don't
remember
even know why. Really. Don't know. Oh, you know what we didn't touch on that I thought was hilarious during the Orgo Corp piece is that Sovereign is there trying to get Rocket before anybody else.
Oh yeah,
and they capture one of the Ravagers. And what's her name? The leader of
Sovereign lady.
Sovereign.
What is her name? Remember when we asked somebody?
I wrote it down somewhere. Any which way, she wants the Ravager interrogated, who has Blurp, the little dog thing.
Blurp is awesome.
Yeah. And to interrogate the guy, Adam just incinerates him. Like, just half of him is no longer in existence.
Oh yeah. So Gamora is not. She's there, but she wants to be taken back to the ship, to a Ravager ship, because they decide they're going to go after the High Evolutionary.
Right. And she doesn't want to go.
Which is important to know because the scene you're talking about where they're trying to milk information.
Milk it.
Right? And he blows his top half off. Right?
Aisha?
Is that the actor?
No, that's the leader of the Sovereign.
No, the actress portrayed Aisha, leader of the Sovereign people.
Okay, the leader of the Sovereign people,
Aisha.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is very distraught.
If you're just going to talk over there, why did you type it?
Get a mic. God. She has to feel like she's doing it.
Yeah.
All right.
Aisha. Thank you.
But yeah, the young Adam Warlock blasts his top half off. She gets very distraught. God damn it, we're not giving her drinks before shows anymore. And she's distraught because now they can't milk the information from him. Okay. What? What? She said she's crying on her keyboard. Can't milk the information from him. But come on now.
But there's a comm link. When Gamora asks for a pickup.
Yeah, so Gamora is asking the Ravengers to pick her up and gives a location, and they hear it over the comm link. Yada yada yada.
Yeah,
They know where they're going now.
they do.
Okay. Get it together, guys.
And they're going to Counter Earth. So
I don't really remember what I'm laughing at. After these messages, we'll be right back. Yeah, so they're they know that they're heading to Counter Earth, right? And whew, the everyone's going to Counter Earth nowadays,
everybody's going.
right?
Mm-hmm.
We need to get back on track.
Okay.
Serious. Okay. Yeah, we're on our way to Counter Earth.
Yes.
Okay. I can't. Wheeze over there is killing me. All right, get on track.
Counter Earth is an interesting place with the animal people.
Yeah, animal people that are grown. I feel like they grew a lot of people in a small amount of time.
Well, it was a pretty quick process, right? Like once he fixed the problem and then he brought him in there and showed him.
Okay, so yeah, let's talk about that. He fixes the problem, brings Rocket in
after his rant.
His almost drunken producer rant.
Yeah.
Like just laughing. No, not laughing. He's hysterical. In a bad way.
Yeah.
He needs Rocket. He's got to tell Rocket, I can't look at you.
You don't look at me then.
He's telling Rocket, it worked.
And then he grows that. Is it a rabbit person or something?
Yeah, he grows several people like on the spot.
It's just like
it accelerates their growth.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's a fairly quick process.
Yeah.
Like
so,
30 seconds.
Okay. I retract my statement then.
And we don't even know if those are like 90.
I don't know. And some of those people have been living there quite a while.
Batch 90. We don't know if it's batch.
Yeah,
90.
we don't know what batch they are. Okay. But he's just obsessed with Rocket knowing this. How did Rocket know this when he didn't notice this? How did Rocket catch this? All right. How did a creature that was his creation, why was he so smart? Why was he smarter than, don't look at me. Why was he smarter than the high evolutionary himself?
Needs his brain. Gotta look at it.
And that's it. That's the show. No, yeah, he needs his brain. But that's when you get that little scene where he's like, "Oh, it worked. We're going to the planet. We're going to Counter
and then
Earth."
He finds out that they're going to be incinerated.
This is friggin' heartbreaking. The way he talks to Rocket.
Yeah.
Like, and he's like laughing at him almost. Like, you were so smart, you could figure this out, but you couldn't figure out that
you're just junk.
You're just a old batch.
Old batch.
The bad batch.
Yeah.
That was a fucking response of the ages there. Yep.
So we get to the planet, got animal people. there's the Wicked Statue of Liberty, but it's actually the High Evolutionary, which I thought was interesting.
Holding a monkey or something.
Yeah, it's just building people out of animals.
This is clearly based on Earth,
Yeah,
or whatever they call it.
yeah, because he liked planet Earth.
He liked planet Earth, but there was too much corruption and there was too much of this and that,
Yeah.
which we quickly see
In Counter Earth.
on Counter Earth.
Yeah.
There's
So after they land, and they're like randomly, well, I guess not randomly attacked. There's people that want to kind of check it out, and then the little kid like throws the ball to Drax, and he just beans her.
Okay, so this scene kind of went wrong for them, because then Kaiju Groot,
Yeah,
which I love that they call it Kaiju Groot, just
grows into a big
grows-
monster thing.
no, not Kaiju Groot.
Yeah. No.
Right, so now all these people are just terrified of them.
They all
All
run
right.
away, except for the Bat family.
Yeah, the Bat family takes them in.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gassy.
You're a lot of things this evening.
They take him in, give him some blue juice.
What? There was blue juice?
Yeah,
Like blue milk?
not blue milk. Don't get it confused.
Oh.
Blue soda or something. All right.
Oh, and Nebula makes that comment
Yeah.
about it. This is amazing.
Yeah.
Just loves it.
Oh, and what is it? What's her name?
Mantis?
Mantis. You got it.
Well, why would you forget her name?
I can't remember anything.
Oh my god. I know
when
she's not your favorite guardian.
When
but
she's talking at the
Jesus.
table, and Nebula he's like, "You're angry." Voice is the same as this voice and stuff like that. It just, the humor, and Drax
Constantly trying to lay down on the couch.
down. Drax, no, it's rude. Why is it here then?
Great scene.
Great scene, which eventually leads into the first James Gunn directed F-bomb.
I think it's the first Marvel F-bomb.
Is it?
I think like out loud you can hear it.
Oh, where they don't cut it off.
Yeah,
and
where it's
stuff
not
like
cut
that.
off or randomly bleeped out or whatever.
Which
What are you
I
doing?
am so sorry, Groot.
You're sick.
I am
You're
Groot.
sick. Trade me.
Sorry, buddy.
Take that. You take that.
Well,
Then you
he's
can-
not going to have a
you can
chance
have-
of standing up here.
You can have some rocket on rocket action over there.
Yeah, so this was debatable whether it was going to make it into the movies.
Well, and I think it was not scripted either. I think
No.
they just said it. But
Yeah,
that
so
whole scene with the car where she can't figure out how to get into the car.
it's awesome because nobody is sitting there going, "What?" Everyone can relate to this.
Yeah. Well,
Well, I mean,
maybe of
everyone
our
that
age,
was-
I wouldn't even think maybe Gen Xers could relate to that because it used to be the button you had to push with your thumb to get into the cars and
Yeah.
stuff like
So
that.
I
It
guess
wasn't
the-
just a pull handle,
I guess the bloop.
right? Like generations of people now. That's the same as the fact that we do this to talk about rolling up and down the window. And you don't have to do that. Be very confusing.
Yeah.
I like it. I love the fact that they threw that in there.
It's a great.
Okay, I've pushed the button. Now what? Get in the fucking car. It wasn't
Are you
bleeped out
pushing
in
the
the
button?
show.
It looks like you're pushing the lock. And then after that, it's like I've been in a car like 3 times. Like I wouldn't know how to drive any more than you would.
He
Yeah,
drives terribly.
great scene. Gamora's just sitting in the ship with her legs up, watching it
Yeah.
while he drives over the people's lawn.
And then checking out the stuff in his backpack.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
No, what a dick.
There's boundaries.
Yeah.
Right?
Horrible.
boundaries. That just shows how much of a dick she is.
Yeah.
In this,
Now.
and she doesn't even warm up that much.
No, she really doesn't. A little bit.
Like, how surprised? Like, were you surprised that she just went back with the Ravengers at the end?
No.
Like, do you think that
That's her family, though. Like, right? The Gamora before this found her family with
yeah?
the Guardians.
And I don't think, like, I think a lot of people were expecting her to fall back in love with him and stuff, but I don't think that was right for the movie.
No.
Right? Like, I think it would have hurt
Yeah.
the storyline.
Yeah. I agree.
So,
She did say at the end, though, like, I bet we were fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before she leaves. She's like, peace out.
Yeah.
I'm still
So,
leaving.
yeah, it was probably cool, but
But I'm out. Peace.
I'm out. I gotta go steal some shit with my group of people.
Yeah.
You know.
Dick.
What a dick. So, anyway.
At some point in here, so they're on their way to the big tower that High Evolutionary's got, and then I think we get a pan to High Evolutionary with his new creation that apparently can survive on 30 calories a day.
Yeah, that kid that's just walking
1 hour of sleep a week.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
It is, but they can't. They don't have Rocket's ability to create.
No.
And that's what he's pissed about.
Yeah.
Okay. He's being urged to just forget about Rocket. Leave him.
Can't.
All right. Why can't he?
Because he's 1 in a bajillion.
Yeah. His brain is precious.
Gotta pull that out of there.
Mind
Look
precious. You know?
And that creation that we could see is potentially Phyla-Vell.
I think it most certainly is.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know why they would use her if it's not.
Like just to randomly call something Phyla?
I mean, obviously, we're jumping the James Gunn. Because that's right near the end. Where we kind of learn about her.
Well, we learn more really
about
in the
her
credits.
Species and stuff.
In the credits.
We know a lot about her species. Which
how much do you know about her species, really, other than they speak a different language that apparently?
Well, no, I guess we don't know about
anything.
her species, but we get to know the children that are locked up a little bit.
A little bit.
Mostly that Drax is attuned to them. Like he just really is a good father.
He really is. Really is.
Like they kind of make fun of him a little bit about being stupid. And the scene where Mantis is being like, he is so stupid.
Yeah. Just repeatedly
calling him stupid.
Yeah.
And that's what we love about him. He's so stupid.
This is where we get the flashback around this point of the friends and
the
Rocket building
the possibly saddest thing in the world.
Yeah.
So like I was saying, Rocket has been stealing little bits of technology and hiding it around his cage, where he does what he does best.
Build something.
And just like Lego and just pops them all together, builds a...
He's a master builder.
He's a master builder.
That's it. We solved it.
Boom. You're welcome.
Yep.
What can I say except you're welcome? Yeah. He's a master builder. He builds the key card.
Yeah.
So he can get out of his
some
cell.
sort of master key, by the way.
That just unlocks all the cages.
Yeah. Does whatever it wants.
And he gets out, but the High Evolutionary...
Well, because he's having like a moment with Lila, because I don't think they've ever been together without bars between them.
Yeah, there's always been bars between them. Yeah, because he unlocks their cage.
Yeah.
And she gets out and they're kind of...
having a moment.
You know, High Evolutionary comes in, starts yelling at Rocket.
Shoots her in the back first, just straight up,
Oh yeah,
just caps her.
because they're like going for a hug
Yeah,
with her very clamper.
yeah. Didn't even give her fingers. Just
That's just rude,
right. Like an otter's normal hands would have been better.
Just she can reach further, but she's very clumsy.
It's a terrible idea.
But yeah, and honestly, like I thought she had more time.
Yeah, something.
And then, oh,
Then she goes down. He's freaking out. Starts shooting at Rocket because Rocket rages, and then he's making fun of him.
yeah, the whole scene where he's doing what anyone would do, and just screaming in pain like from loss, and yeah, the mockery that the High Evolutionary.
And then we finally get to see his violence.
Yeah, well, because he turns around and he realizes that Teefs and Floor have also been shot.
I think he tears his face off first.
Does he tear the face off first? Because
I think when he's running at the High Evolutionary after Lila dies and he's missing, I think that's when he shoots them, and then he jumps his face.
All in all, he goes like hardcore crazy on like.
And at this point in the movie, after his face is torn off, we don't get to see it, but we've seen his weirdly stretched skin. And if you were wondering why, this is it.
Yeah. So he's got these pieces that kind of like hook on.
Yeah, little clamp.
Right?
Clamps.
Like they're these like M3 like things.
Yeah.
Where you just
clip it
on. And yeah, you kind of wonder what that's all about until this scene.
Because initially I was kind of thinking like he had done like whatever brain worker kind of things on himself.
Right.
And then just left him kind of weird.
Yeah.
But it's awful.
It is. And
I was sad during this scene again because everybody's dead. Wheels. Oh, I mean, Teefs and
Wheels.
Teefs and Floor dead in their cages.
Now,
I think I went with Wheels because of Wolverine calling Professor X.
Yeah.
What do you call this guy? Wheels.
Now, this scene makes you look back at other scenes through the other two movies, and it puts a lot of perspective on a lot of things.
You mean his pure rage?
Well, that and his
lack of ability to trust.
Like, for instance, when he prevents Gamora from going out of the ship, when he shoots her with the like electric taser, and he says the things like, I can't afford to lose another friend type deal. You know, like it really hits harder knowing what he's
Did you go
through.
back to the other two movies and just sit there and cry? Is that what happened?
No. No. I watched them in a different light.
Yeah,
like I always knew Rocket had been through a lot, but
yeah,
this movie changed it. All right. It changed the way I look at life.
just your whole life.
I'm a different person.
You are a different person. Let's speed it up here a little bit. Because there's not a ton that
let's speed it up here.
Speed it up.
Pause.
Gamora's waiting down by the car. Quill and Groot go up to the ship. We get the Wicked monologue, which I thought was great. That Quill is just not having it. He's not hearing another evil plan from another person.
Yeah.
Like he's heard Egos, he's heard Thanos's. It's just he's done. He's not having it. Which I thought was a great scene because evil people always have these great monologues. And it was nice to finally see somebody just be like, "Oh,
shut up, roll your eyes,
come on."
Okay, we get a great scene where like kind of a fight breaks out, and Groot and Peter, the gun scene.
Yeah,
where Groot,
Groot just-
sprouts just a whole bunch of roots with a bunch of guns.
Yeah.
And they just do that whole spin in a circle and shoot.
Yeah, it was amazing. I loved it. And I don't think I've ever seen Groot handle a gun like that. Have you?
He always gives it to Rocket, and
Yeah.
he I am Groot's and makes a shield or something. And,
Yeah. But Groot throwing just throwing down.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, so
Drax and Gamora fuck it up and leave the ship behind with just Gamora in it. Gamora has to just hang out by herself, gets in a fight with Adam Warlock a bit.
yeah, because they've now approached the planet.
Yeah.
It's kind of like everybody's after Rocket.
Yeah. So she saves Rocket, which was interesting. And kind of spoke volumes to her kind of having a change of heart.
Well, she changes somewhat in this, even to the point where she didn't understand Groot at first.
Yeah.
And then by the end of it, she kind of does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Maybe not quite as much as Mantis and them. Mantis is a like killer.
Every nuance, she knows exactly what he's talking about.
Like when he explains what happens in the whole scene,
Yeah.
she just to the T knows everything.
Because their escape
from one
was
group, right?
spectacular.
Oh,
His
yeah.
and Quill's after they jump out the window and he like paraglides it,
He sprouts angel wings.
Buzz and Woody style,
Yeah. And
falling with style.
some would say similar to the Iron Man scene
Yes.
when he calls his suit to him and stuff.
There's
very
a lot of
cool
throwback
scene.
pieces.
And the reason for that is that they need the
Chip from that
chip
dude's head,
from
yeah. So they jump out the window with you.
they need the chip from Mateo's head.
Potato?
Mateo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Do you know who Mateo is?
He's that guy that they smashed into the ground and drowned.
Yeah, but his character on a show called Superstore.
No, okay.
That's his character.
So that's not actually his character's name in this?
Character name in this.
No.
Mateo. He
Well,
plays a character.
Thanks for nothing.
So thanks for nothing. Thanks for a big old pile of duty. All right. It's a fact that I'm giving people.
During
Not a
that whole
big
thing,
one.
they start blowing up the planet because he's just wiping out this lot because the drug deal that was going on between the octopus and the cockroaches
Yeah, so
and stuff like that.
The High Evolutionary explains how I built this world because I like your world, but it's got too much corruption and stuff. And then
Quill's
Peter goes, you got a lot of corruption here. And he's like, yeah, that's why I need to blow up the planet.
Yeah. And then just hits the button, no
Boom,
big deal.
no thought.
Starts taking off. That was it.
No thought put to that. Like this is not his first rodeo.
No.
Not even his third rodeo.
No.
I
don't know. This batch like 98.
Yeah, he's blown up a few planets.
Yeah.
He's gonna get it right one of these days, he thinks.
Well, maybe with this new weird race, except for he doesn't have time with them.
So we got a big scene where there's parts of the planet blowing up. They're running around trying to get back on ships and stuff like that.
That's kind of what stops the Gamora Adam fight too, where Adam's like, "Oh no,
Mother Sovereign,
Aisha is gonna go down." Almost makes it to her. She blows up. That was really fast, by the way. Like, there's no build up to that at all.
No,
he's just flying in there. I didn't even know she was there. I don't think.
But it kind of had to happen so that ties to her were lost.
Yeah.
Right. So that he could grow as a character without.
Yeah.
Her control.
Yeah.
Right. But let's just say that his development in this is kind of like a little bit more goofy than some of the other characters. Like,
which is okay.
It is okay. Like the scene where he walks in and you think they're gonna fight and then he just falls over.
Yeah, where he screams and falls over. Yeah.
And then I think Drax has to carry him out, which is a turn in his character where he's kind of doing the whole, why did you save me?
Everybody deserves a second chance.
Right? So his development, kind of a weird one, but it's okay.
But I think it'll be good just based on like the ending parts of this movie that we'll kind of touch on in a moment. Gamora comes, saves Quill, and Groot. The other guys ended up on the ship.
I kind of like it's kind of weird how they got off the ship Meanwhile,
guys got
the other
on to
guys got
save
on
them?
the ship to
Yeah.
save them, and this and that. And then there's a scene where they need to save Mantis and them from those squid-like creatures
The obelisks.
that were on in the second movie.
Yeah.
Right. So
But
I almost think that the High Evolutionary created them as well.
That's a fair
Makes sense.
thought. And I think I was listening to something that was talking about, the flying butthole having the yellow goo, and the obelisks have the yellow goo, and we see the yellow goo in the spinal fluid of the
nowhere. Yeah.
and stuff like that. So if he was creating experiments through those, which would make sense.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
the
all kind of
giant
ties together
celestials
in a
and
way,
stuff like that.
right? It makes sense, and it's all theory kind of, but it's good.
Yeah, it's a good theory.
Good theory.
Solid theory.
Time.
No.
But
yeah, they blast off into space.
Are we like switching the board now because we got too many notes?
Let's flip the board. This is just how you do it. You have a low budget show.
Are you suggesting that our show is low budget and
No.
stuff?
No.
Not a bit.
No.
I can't even read that.
Can you? So they're all into outer space. The kids are being rescued, and then they're talking to Drax, which I thought was fun.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like they were all painting Drax in kind of a role where, you're just a big brute dummy.
Yeah.
And they're trying to communicate with these kids, and then Drax just goes and starts talking to them in their language.
Yeah.
He's like, "How come you didn't tell us? Well, you didn't ask.
Choop choop.
Choop choop.
Choop choop.
Go tell your ugly friends that."
Choop choop. Choop choop means friends. It's kind of around that time after they get. Is it around that time where they get out of the cage, and then they're telling the kids to hide by the walls and stuff like that? But we get that other flashback where it's not even a flashback. It's he's gonna die.
Yeah. So Groot, and the rest of them are standing over top of him, and he flatlines almost.
He does flatline,
right? Or does he actually flatline?
Straight up. That's
and
it.
then
We lost him.
he
He's
goes
dead.
into what they would refer to as his realm of what are they calling that?
Oh, it's the between.
The
Limbo.
between?
Let's call
Limbo.
it limbo.
His version of like a heaven or whatever, or afterlife.
Yeah.
And you get that scene where it's kind of sad because his afterlife kind of thing is those cages.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then Lila comes up, and you got Teefs
And
Floor there, and he's seeing his friends and stuff, and they tell him a story where it is true. This guy is beautiful and all this stuff. And he's like, I killed you. I killed you all. It's all my fault.
They say no.
No, Rocket. Can I come with you? Can I just come with you guys? Yes, you can. You can come with us. But not yet.
It was a great scene.
Yeah.
That's where I was like almost done. Like I was losing it because he was gonna die, and I knew it. And I was like, oh, he's dead.
And then he's like, she says something weird about hands, and then
yeah, the hands that built you, not the hands that guide, whatever.
Yeah, and then it's pretty much she goes, hey, you didn't know it, but this story's been yours the whole time.
Yeah.
Boom.
Then off he goes.
And then she's like, hey, I'll miss you, little raccoon. And he's like, hey, I'm not a raccoon. Whoa! Back into life.
And
he's back up, and the first thing he says is, where's Nebula?
Yeah.
Right? And now he does say, well, because her comm is on, right? But there's a special bond between them. And like you said earlier, I kind of was like a little bit teary-eyed when she was like so emotional about him being back and stuff. Because that character is a very hardened character.
Yeah.
So for her to be showing that kind of love is...
When she gets teary-eyed,
yeah.
and she covers her mouth and everything.
Yeah. So Rocket's
Just
back.
touching.
Yay.
It's a great scene.
Everybody's
sad right now.
happy.
Are they?
Everybody's happy.
Except half the team's still stuck on a ship flying into space, and the other half's on another ship flying into space.
It's fine.
There's no hope to get them back because it's a big space station thing.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine because whenever there's a circumstance like that, you get your celestial head.
Right.
You get the guy piloting that, and you get him to
just drive it over.
Yeah.
Hey, drive on over.
Drive the celestial head over to the ship. We're going to distract him over here with a couple of other ships.
Yeah.
And then you know that cannon we installed in the Celestial's eye?
Yeah. The giant eye cannon.
All right. We
So,
want you to use that.
But at the same time, High Evolutionary unleashes the Hellspawn, which I thought were really
Oh
cool.
yeah, I
badass
could
kind
have
of characters.
missed a huge, awesome scene. Yeah.
So the Nowhere gets attacked after. I guess I mean before that, when he contacts Kraglin, can we talk about the fact that they're just chilling playing poker, and we missed out on the whole Kraglin calling Cosmo a bad dog at one point, and Cosmo just
very
can't
early
drop
in
it.
the movie, Kraglin calls Cosmo a bad dog, and there's just throughout the movie,
Can't handle it.
Cosmo cannot
You
handle
take
being
that
called
back.
a bad dog.
It was a great scene too. But the Nowhere gets attacked by Hellspawn.
Yeah.
And Kraglin finally finds his heart.
But not alone.
Not without
He sees a vision of Yondu, who, just like in the second movie, telling Quill, "You got to use your heart, buddy." And it's a cool scene. It really is a cool scene.
It's like kind of cheesy, but like in the best possible way.
Yeah, where he finally uses that, and he does a great job taking down all the mutated beasts and stuff like that until he misses the big guy. And he's like, "You missed," and then he's like, "I was just distracting you," or something like that.
And that was War Pig too, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then Cosmo picks up those big pieces of concrete or whatever. I can't remember what the pig said to him, but he's like, "No, he's a good dog."
Yeah.
And then just
Then he squishes him with the concrete. Telepathy.
"I knew you thought I was a good dog."
Yeah. Great scene. And then we start getting the fight between Nowhere and those guys. I don't remember how they end up in the Obelisk pit with the Obelisk, but
I don't remember.
it's escaping me. But we do find out the Mantis can just chill and talk to them because they eat batteries, not people.
Yeah. Then she kind of like uses her powers to kind of ease them and stuff like that. And now they're just her pets.
Yeah. They were just straight riding them,
right?
which was great.
We got to talk about the hallway scene.
Yeah, because that's after they all kind of get back together after the Obelisk piece, and then one of the best fight scenes in Marvel ever, I think.
And it's like it's not a continuous shot, obviously.
That guy's falling asleep. No, it's not.
It's not, obviously, because there's a lot of CGI and stuff in it.
Yeah.
And everything. But it's a continuous. It's not a continuous shot, but it's a continuous scene.
Yeah.
Right? And you're right, one of the best scenes.
Oh.
Just one character doing its thing into the next character, and then you just kind of get to see each of them shine all cohesively type deal.
Yeah.
Like, and it's
because they're a team.
Talking about this scene will never do it justice.
No. You have to watch it.
You have to see this scene.
If that's all you watch of this movie, then
watch
you're missing
the whole
out.
movie. It's a great movie.
But
this scene is
just
a step above.
Yeah.
Like it's stellar.
Oh, it's so good.
Okay. Awesome scene.
What was Howard the Duck doing this whole time, by the way?
Howard the
So-
Duck was just playing poker
Yeah.
with a bunch of old characters.
Yeah. Loved it.
You know, with Kraglin.
Yeah.
That's when they call upon Kraglin.
Yeah. And the merchant and a whole bunch of other people.
Yeah.
It was cool.
So that leads to can't remember.
Was Howard the Duck created by the High Evolutionary then?
He might have been. Howard the Duck is supposed to be a really powerful character,
I've heard that.
but
Somebody was just talking to me
I
about that
digress.
the other day and
Not
said
really
that he
important
was
right
like
now.
one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel Universe.
not really. Well, because he's almost a fourth wall breaking kind of do what I want character.
Epic fight stuff. Rocket decides they're freeing everybody.
Yeah. So the plan is to free all higher life forms,
Right.
right?
And then Rocket is on his way out, sees the raccoons, decides that he's freeing the raccoons.
Yeah, because that's a cool scene that's worth spending a few minutes on, because he sees those little scamps, reads the code on the cage,
Yes.
realizes that all this time he's been a raccoon,
Yeah.
right? Which is kind of a cool thing, because he spent 2.5 movies denying it,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody's been calling him everything under the sun.
Yeah.
And
Squirrel, rabbit,
it's been a
raccoon,
big bit
etc. Yeah.
that's all come to
Hey,
like
I-
a full circle,
hey,
right?
I am a raccoon.
Yeah, hey. But he has to save those little guys.
Yes.
And then he kind of appeals to Quill. It's funny because that I called him Quinn, because other people call him
well,
Quinn. and he
Evolutionary
gets-
comes in before anybody's there, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're gonna scrap it out. Because he slams Rocket into the
Yeah, he
whatever
kind
the
of
thing with
slams
his
him around a
gravity
bunch.
stuff.
And he's yelling out his code name.
89P13.
And then Rocket flips down and goes, "The name's Rocket. Rocket Raccoon."
Then other people get there. And then they peel his face off.
Yeah, Gamora really...
Why did she need to do that, really, though?
She said earlier that she would.
Oh, did she? I'm going to peel your face
Yeah,
off?
she... A girl of her word.
So she peeled that face off, and it's like Red Skull-esque, but more gooey. And
It's like a Red Skull /
zombie-ish
Vader
Vader.
thing.
It's messed up.
Can we
Bad.
please talk
Like,
about
it is a mess.
your
Like,
daughter's
it's kind of
reaction to
scary.
this?
And the face came off, and he's laying on the ground and with like half his mouth and stuff, yelling about "Look what you did to me" to Rocket. And my daughter said, "Look at his face." And
She
that's
was thrilled.
yeah, she thought it was hilarious.
That scares me a little.
It scares me. I live with that.
He hasn't slept since then.
No,
It's
I don't look well.
no. I was gonna say something, but yeah. So pretty much, they're like, "Hey, we got to end this guy."
Yeah.
And Rocket's like, "Nah." Well, how come? Because I'm a guardian of the freaking galaxy.
Although they do kind of, did they not just leave him there?
They left him there
Yeah,
to die.
so he's blown up.
But you know, Rocket was well within, good reason to just do it.
He could have,
You know,
but he didn't.
and some people were saying at that point that's where they should have used the F-bomb,
Yeah, they could have.
because in
Certainly.
the second one, Groot says, "Welcome to the Guardians of the freaking Galaxy," except he didn't use the word freaking.
No, he said, "I am Groot," is actually what he said.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so
they all
bust out.
they decided they're taking all the life forms, bust them all out.
Except for Rocket appeals to Quill
Yeah.
about taking all life forms.
So then they book it,
We got to save them all. All right,
especially the little raccoons,
especially the little
with
cute,
their little people,
little
hands.
cute raccoons. Everything, including the big squid things.
Diabolus.
Diabolus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because Mantis wouldn't leave them.
No.
Those are her buddies now. Which I totally forgot about that end piece until we just started talking about that for a minute. But yeah, everybody runs out. Peter loses his Zoom.
His Zune, which he has to go back for, and
Right.
you know that. But there's a big importance to it too, right? Like it's in his character,
Yeah.
but he has to run back, risks his life going to get it. He jumps out, nearly dies from the cold because Cosmo is holding an airtight
Which is already broken.
cocoon, which is breaking. Cosmo can only hold it for so long. So, and you start to think like, okay, somebody has to do something about it. Groot tries to,
Freezes up.
can't get it, and then a lot of people are thinking, oh, well, wouldn't it be cool if Gamora saved him? Because he saved Gamora,
Right.
right? No. Adam Warlock.
Did you think that maybe Quill was the one that was dead now? Since I had been waiting the entire movie
For someone to die? There was a thought, right?
You're like, oh, Quill's dead.
Maybe it's Quill, but then it just James Gunn just going, no,
No, nobody dies.
no, nobody's gonna die.
Adam Warlock, Michael touches him.
Yep.
Michelangelo, the painting of the.
It's literally called the Something Atom.
Yeah.
Which the Something Atom is literally what it's called.
Right.
Which is yada yada. He's Adam.
He's Adam Warlock.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You get the connection.
Adam Warlock saves him. Which I thought was great.
Because everyone deserves a second chance.
That's right. And he took a second chance seriously.
Yeah.
Became a good guy.
Now there's a little bit of discrepancy over whether Quill that's a thing, had his helmet or not, whether he could have used his helmet.
Right.
Okay. It broke during Guardians 2.
Yeah.
It was somehow fixed in Endgame and stuff.
Yeah.
Why didn't he use it?
Right.
Because it's not directed by James Gunn. That's why.
Yeah.
So James Gunn was just like, hey, doesn't exist anymore. I guess.
Like maybe he didn't pack it.
Yeah. No, well, actually, James Gunn made a statement saying that they were in such a rush and he was drunk.
Right.
So he didn't grab his
it's
rocket boots
either.
Or his helmet. They're both in his dresser.
There you go.
All right.
That's such a Peter Quill thing to do too.
No, it is.
So
it makes sense.
Yeah. I like it.
Right. Yeah, so he saved.
They won. And that's it. That's the end of the story.
That's absolutely the end of the Guardians of the freaking Galaxy.
It really is though, because they go back, chilling, kicking it on nowhere, having the conversation, and the band's breaking up.
Yeah, the band's breaking up. Quill's gonna go back to Earth.
Yeah.
Right?
Hangs out. He sees his grandpa. Has a wonderful reunion. I thought it was nice. At one point, we get a scene where he's like reading the paper, and then it has the
Kevin Bacon stuff in it,
and Kevin Bacon alien abduction tells all.
Yeah,
which I thought was funny because again, another throwback to the holiday special. Got to watch it. Gamora kicks it back to the Ravagers because that's her family, and you see her like doing a reuniting with them, and everybody's happy and like,
which is cool.
It's a cool scene. Nebula is going to take over
Nowhere.
She's
going to take care of Nowhere. So Mantis is going to take off, and she's never really had a life.
Oh yeah, that's what she kind of said.
Up until like she's been serving Ego, and then she was a Guardian.
Yeah. So she wants to go live her own life, and she takes off. And when she walks away, and then she whistles, and the 3 big ass obelisks come, because she tells Drax that she doesn't need protection. Doesn't need protection.
But Drax wants to go desperately with her.
Yeah,
but
he just doesn't want to be alone.
One of the sweetest things that has ever been said to Drax. Is Nebula says, "Hey, you're not Drax the Destroyer. You're Drax the Father."
So he's gonna chill and take care of some random
like
kids.
So many kids there.
Yeah, lots of kids he's taking care of.
Right.
And then
Rocket which is the most important person in this movie, possibly,
Yes.
is now
The lead.
the leader
He's the boss.
of the Guardians of the Galaxy. And that's why it was so important to retrieve the Zune, because it's handed to Rocket with a note, saying, hey, yo,
Got this back for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's importance to going back for that, right?
And then we get the new Guardians on their first mission.
Well, that's a and
The end credit
scene, but
what else do you want?
well, you have to acknowledge the dance party that happens.
Okay, there's a dance party and only stupid people dance.
Right? But I like it because it ends off in the same way that it starts off with Rocket, where he plays a song through the comms, and he's singing the song, and then you get Groot doing his kooky dance and all that, and everybody starts to dance, and then you finally see Drax.
The kids get Drax to
they
dance.
finally break him down. So it's a fun, like, bittersweet kind of scene.
And I'm gonna. I know we've been trying to just not address it, but also in the scene where they're kind of breaking off, we get the score lowering line from Groot.
Oh yeah, we've been trying to avoid this. Now, you've nearly got a perfect movie.
Yeah.
Okay. And then for some reason,
yeah. And I know so James Gunn explained it as, we've followed the story and we followed Groot for so long that we've grown with him that we understand now Groot. And he says, I love you guys, in Vin Diesel's voice. And it was one of those things that happened that pull you out of the story where you're just like,
yeah,
what the fuck just happened?
And I get the explanation.
There's our F-bomb.
I get the explanation.
It didn't make it better, though.
It takes the edge off it a little, but it doesn't make it better. It is the defining thing that makes this not a perfect movie.
Yeah.
For me.
That was it.
Like,
that was it. You can't pull me out of a story.
Right there, too. Right at the end.
Right at the end? Don't do that to me.
I have to agree with you. Let us know if you agree with us.
If you watch this whole video.
Worst part of the movie.
Yeah.
Let's get past it.
Yeah.
Can
we talk about the end credit scene?
We can now talk about the end credit scene.
Where we get the new iteration of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
The new Guardians of the Galaxy, led by Rocket Raccoon.
So we've still got Kraglin now.
Kraglin, awesome.
Joined up with the Mohawk. We got Cosmo, which I think if they do end up making any kind of other Guardians
related
movies,
stuff,
I think that Kraglin Cosmo relationship is going to be really fun, like the Mantis Drax kind of of this team. We've got Adam Warlock, which will be an interesting character by himself if we get to see him kind of grow
into his power.
Yeah, and just his capacity.
Yeah.
We have the new Phyla, which I think was just named Phyla, not Phyla in the credit scene.
It's being assumed right now, and I think it's a fair assumption.
Who becomes Quasar, I think. And then we have Alpha Groot, King Groot.
Alpha Groot
is just straight beast mode.
He's straight up awesome.
He's so big.
He's so big. He's a big boy.
He's a big boy.
He's awesome, and part of the reason he's awesome for me, is because he's somewhat reminiscent of his first appearances in comics. The closest that he's ever been. To the first appearances in comics, and that's exciting to me.
I love the scene just because there's the locals that are standing behind them, and they're all scared and quaking and stuff, and they're just chilling trying to pick a song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're talking about their favorite artist or whatever and stuff like that, right?
Which is
cool.
Then
Kraglin's like, I could probably take this one on my own, we're all here.
What song do they pick?
Which song do they pick?
Yeah.
I honestly can't remember. Do you remember? Because if you just you don't remember.
Something that he was kind of partial to. Rocket.
Yeah,
Rocket
I
picked
can't
the
remember
last
what they
song.
picked.
What was the last song?
Yeah, we don't have time.
We do have time.
We ain't got time.
It takes 3 seconds.
Not for Drunky McGee over there.
That's true. So that is the Guardians of the Galaxy.
I hope we did it justice.
We literally talked about it for almost the length of what the movie would have been.
Yeah.
So I think we did.
I don't know if that's doing it justice or not. I don't know if it's
There's so much more.
like it's just
How could we? It's impressive that we probably could have talked for longer than the actual length of the movie about the movie.
It's a great movie.
It really is.
Dog days are over.
No,
yeah,
Dog Days Are Over was
that's not
the
it.
dance song.
Yep. End credits.
Post credit.
Post credit song. Guardians.
So we'll end it with a banana rating.
9.5.
We can't do a banana rating without a banana.
9.5 bananas.
So you knew that was going to be the rating. Okay.
Yeah.
We're both gonna give it a fucking 9.5.
Yeah. And it's all based on the We Love Groot.
And it
Or
would be
We Love Groot. I love you guys. I don't know why I said that.
We do love Groot.
I do love Groot.
We do love Groot. The I love you guys was the literal thing that kept this from being a 10 out of 10.
It really was.
Dare.
Huh?
I will dare by the replacements.
I don't even know that song.
I don't think I do either.
We're gonna learn it though. Yeah, literal 10 it would have been if it wasn't for that one line for me. So needless to say, we thought it was a great movie. We hope you think it's a great movie.
Like, subscribe,
Tell
hit the
your friends.
notification bell. Here comes some stuff for you to look at.
Tell your freaking friends.
Tell your friends. Do the things.
Did
We love you guys.
Did you say hit the bell?
I believe I said hit the bell. Comment. Is there anything else you need to do? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Thanks a lot for joining us and watching.
Have good mosh pitting.
Peace out. I didn't know where you were going with that.
Love you guys. Bye.
We love you.
Ew.
What a
Why would you do that?
weird thing for him to say.